Hey guys, well, been a while. I had to take a break after the USAC build because I went at that pretty hard. So what you see before you is the current status of my builds and where I'm at. So I just want to do a quick video. I don't know how quick it's going to be, but I'll try. Just go over some stuff like what I'm doing and the builds that I got on the bench, so forth. I think I told you guys after the dart, I was going to do 2 darts because I like that kit so much, and I was going to do a Pro Street, and I have this shelf up here, a little bookshelf. A lot of times I'll put my painted bodies up there just to get them out of the way so I don't touch them. And I had the Pro Street dart body sitting up there, and I went to grab it and unfortunately knocked it off the shelf, and it fell off of that shelf onto that computer screen corner, hit the corner of that desk, and then hit the floor. Needless to say, it did not survive. So I just moved on. There's just some builds that just weren't meant to be built, so I just moved on. So maybe another time we'll build it. But in the meantime, let's talk about some of the things that I'm doing currently that I've been working on. So I think I'll start with, let's get this one out of the way. I'll start with the 68 Charger. So I saw this picture online of this green 68 Charger I wanted to duplicate. So this is the color from Scale Finishes. Look at the flake in that paint. You'll see like you'll see in the panel lines some white. What that is just wax buildup that I haven't cleaned out yet. So you see it like up in here too, and just got to clean that out. But I've polished it and I've cut it. And what I do is I basically cut it with 2000, and then I go over it with a Trizac Trizac pad, 3000 Trizac pad, and then an 8000 Trizac pad. And then I buff it either by hand or with my Dremel, one of the two. Just depends on how I feel that day. But this paint job came out great. Just a beautiful paint job. I'm really proud of that paint job. There are times where the stars align and you can lay down some really good paint. I think it's got a lot to do with the climate and the humidity and those, because I do a lot of my painting, well, I do all my painting outside. So, but that's the body. And I started that body with, I just 4000 my body. I get the mold lines out, and then I do 1000 to get the scratches out as much as I can. Then I do 2000, and I do 3000, and then I hit it with my primer, and then I go over it lightly with 3000, and then I start my base coats, and then I hit it with 2K clear. Always 2K clear, usually for me. The interior came out great. I love the interior on this car. So I did it in a green from Tamiya, and it just had a really, really good finish on it. I didn't even have to put clear on it. The inserts are painted with a color called Sky, which is basically a light green. The one thing that I did on this particular build, for some reason my phone does not focus on these types of things for some reason. But I did the bare metal foil to replicate that chrome underneath the arm pad there. Did the ashtray. The centers are all metal that I could see. Did the wood grain on the steering wheel. Just came out great. One of my best interiors I've ever done, to be honest with you. And then I painted the firewall, detailed up some things on the firewall. The engine turned out great. I just used the 440 engine, but I did put an aftermarket carb on it. The reason I did that is because I wanted to put these vacuum lines in there, and it didn't have, the stock carb was awful. So I put a Concord pre-wired distributor on there, hooked up the, what do you call it, ignition, and put aftermarket pulleys on it from Parks by Parks. I did take the power steering pump off of it. And underneath I've basically got the factory paint job that they usually put on these things, and I did the overspray and all that stuff, and painted the what is it? Fuel tank. I couldn't spit the word out. I'm getting old. Fuel tank. Did the straps, and turned out great. I even did the throttle return spring on the side there, which my phone will not do close up very well, but it's on there. And that's pretty much it for that. So this build's coming along. All I really have to do now is paint the headliner, and then do the bare metal foil, clean up the panel lines, and then do the black panel liner in there, and then get the windows in, and then I could put the interior in, which is tricky on this one, by the way. So that's the first build that I've been working on. The next build that I've been working on is the NASCAR group build. And that's coming along pretty good. So I decided to do this livery by Jeff Gordon, and I've got all the decals set. Everything's on there. I've got the windows in it. Here's the hood. I can do the hood. And when I put a lot of guys, I can't do this one-handed very well. I'm not. We're gonna give up on that. But anyway, I got the hood situated. I got all the decals and the details that you put on the windows. I just got to polish the windows a little bit to get my fingerprints off of them. But those matter. If putting these little dots on here, and making sure that all these decals are on back here for the adjustments in the back, all that matters on a NASCAR. I used to build these like left and right, and the difference between an average NASCAR build and a one that stands out is all those little tiny details. But the wheels, all got them all done. What I do with the wheels is the very first thing I do, of course I did stickers on these, I think. I don't know where they went. Yeah, there's a sticker on it. But I basically do the wheel weights, and I start by sanding the tread, and then I put a coat of gloss clear coat on the outside, just a small light coat, and then I make sure that I get the rim in so I don't mess with the clear coat, and then basically give it a day or two to dry, and then I have something for the decals to attach to, and put the decals on. I haven't done this yet, but on these, what I like to do is I like to do a little weathering on the outside so that they're not so bright, because they ain't that bright on the real car. They're spray painted on there. And then once I'm done, I seal them up with a dull coat. This orange little sticker, this tape that they put on there, all that is an alignment tape. You can put it anywhere on the wheel as long as it lines up with this, with one of the lug nuts. So that's all it is for the tire carrier. When they put it on the car, it's just an alignment thing for them. That's all that is. Got to make sure when you do these that you put these little details like the left rear, or you know, the wheel weight signal, or make sure that these stickers or these decals are on the inside of the rim. Basically making sure that all these little tiny details are on there. It makes a big difference when you look at the car. So my plan is for this, so I got all the windows in, got everything taken care of pretty much on the outside of the car. I have this little, I don't know, wicker bill, I guess you want to call it. Goes down here on the side of the car. I've got to paint that. Then I've got to paint the rear spoiler, put that on there. And then what I'm going to do is I'll drill into the roof, and I'm going to put an antenna on here, and then I'm going to actually put a TV cam on here up front. Just make that out of some rod styrene. And then basically I can start on the inside of the car. Inside of the car, I basically paint it. They're all the same color. I mix, this is MCW finishes, but this is their white, and I mix that 50-50 with Dove Gray, and that's the perfect color. Got that tip from online from a bunch of builders that on one of the groups that I'm in. So that's pretty much it. Now, I have been working on BG's appreciation build. Got the frame done on it, so we're ready to paint the frame. Really nice model. I did have to contact Mobius because I was missing some parts, and they had those parts out to me within a day. So we got the frame entirely done. I do the frames in one sub assembly, simply for strength. And just to remind you, this is the 1972 Ford Ranger snowplow that I'm building up for BG. And that is completely different than what I've ever done. I don't do mini trucks. So, and I think that's it. Now, one of the other builds that I'm working on that I'm spinning around in my head is a 41 Chevy. I had that idea a while back. And I'm going to revisit that build. So I got plenty on my plate. So that's what's happening on the Wilson bench. So I hope you guys have a really good week this week, and take care of yourselves. God bless. It's Terry. I'm out.